Alright, this is the Monocalypse with the new 8.1 common patch. Well, common test patch 1. Complete reset, so I'm not even going to go back to them, because if I remember correctly, the only difference between them is balancing income and cost of modules. So, here is the Vickers Medium Tank Mark.II. As you can see, it actually changes very little in just about every single term. 2 millimeters more of armor, larger in general, 15 tons over 12 tons, bit more engine power, speed limit of 40 kilometers an hour instead of 24, traverse speed 28 degrees a second, turret traverse speed 32 degrees a second, and a better signal range, though I think that's because, no, everything, just resetting everything to factory standard because I was fiddling with it a little bit in match. The new upgraded turret has slightly better view range. Okay, let's take this thing out stock. Good thing about this tank though is because the starter 47mm turret, the armor piercing ammo is free. Very, very good in my opinion. Because of the generalized low armor values of the basic tanks, you can pretty much get away with using high explosive. Especially if you're running into the British tanks, because if you get a clean penetration, it's going to do full amount of damage. Then again, if you don't, it won't do any damage, so it's kind of a trade-off, as usual. 18,589 people online at the moment, and they used to tell you how many matches were going on at any one time, but now they don't. But only 144 people actually in the queue, so interesting bit. I wish I could just hit battle and wait for it to start, and I could still fiddle around in the garage a bit. Like queue this one up, I could make any changes to this, but still look around a bit, because this is, the waiting's interminable. Alright, low tier battle, looks like 2s and 3s. Okay, the first thing off, since I tested this a little bit, I know that it is relatively slow out of the gate with the stock engine. Stock gun's okay against level 3, possibly 4, but I really haven't faced any tier 4s. I think the A10 is a tier 4, but honestly I can't remember off the top of my head. Well, we might as well just get this going. It's got good acceleration, it's just kind of slow. Topping out about 20 kilometers an hour here out of 40, so I can only go about half speed. Sure, if I continue accelerating on a flat grade or over a road, that eventually I would get up to the appropriate speed. Sorry. That is the Mark III. I'm going to be doing quite a few videos today, so... And as you can see, all my shots went low. They also had an arc on them, so there was always and always has been gravity for ammo. Damn it. And those two-shot bursts that you heard earlier were coming from this tank, the A13 Mark II. I already did a video on the Mark I. Mark II has standard basic 47mm, then the pom-pom, and then a 40mm that's better than the pom-pom, has better penetration, fires in 2-round bursts. And the radio of the other guy across the way must really suck at the moment. And again, I can't really... Oh, fucking A. Freaking invisible fucking tanks! I am sick and tired of this bullshit! I know a great idea! To level the playing field so you can't be one-shot by enemies at range, we're gonna make them invisible! And then they'll only appear under certain circumstances that are completely random or seem completely random to the average user. Because that's smart. This guy's using the pom-pom. Good gun depression on these tanks. Really good, actually. I don't understand what you're saying. They're all in the corner around K2 or something. They're all down there. Where there's the enemy that was spotting you. Well, we're all going to die. One, two. I have no idea what the third guy must be. I still can't believe how much ground clearance most of the British tanks have. It's just redonkulous for the most part. Where is that last tank? They have a Mark III. The BS was over there. The can't remember what it was. The cruiser Mark I is right there at the moment. So the Mark III must be over there. At least that's where the bullets were coming from. So hollow. Oh man, that gun sounds, seriously, it's a 75mm cannon and it sounds like a 40mm pea shooter. Mark III killed him. Mark III killed the Mark III and the T-57 here. Damn. 16 experience. Yay. You know why? Because I got shot by an invisible fucking tank. Whose bright idea was it to make tanks invisible? I really want to jam that freaking guy's head up his rectum. Ugh. Anyways. One level up, shall we? Next level up is a tier 3 radio with 350 meters range over 250. And then after that is a tier 5 radio with 375 meters range over 350. And the cost for the 350 meter radio was something around 500 credits. The cost for the 375 meter radio is 2,000 credits. Whose bright idea was that? Okay, now one level up from the original tracks, which was level 1, is level 2 with 15.2 tons maximum weight and 28 degrees a second over 26 and 13.9. Can't remember the costs on these. Okay, and if I remember correctly, there's something odd about these. What's it, the engine? Yeah, the engines are not so universal. I thought I saw something weird between some of these. Anyways, okay. Now, next one up for the engine is 110 horsepower over 90 horsepower, and after that, it's 160 horsepower over 110. I'm going to use the 110 right now, just because that is kind of a big jump. 20 horsepower, then 50. I want to show that in an individual match. Turret Mark II double star over the Turret Mark II 1 star. You get 300 meters view range and 2 more millimeters of armor on the side and rear. And you also get an expanded ammo compartment. Okay, now, after the 3-pound gun, we get here 6-pounder, then a 3-pounder again, then a 6-pounder again. Biggest thing between any of them are rate of fire. The 6-pounder is obviously slower. However, between the lower 6-pounder and the higher 6-pounder, the higher 6-pounder has better penetration. Let's go with the first 6-pounder. As you can see, very short barreled 57mm gun. Note you do not need the secondary turret to use the 6-pounder gun. In fact, you use the same 6-pounder that you originally get with the Mark I here, so you can use the 6-pounder right out of the gate. On to the match. Note, I'm not intentionally sucking here. I'm really this bad. These tanks are so slow. Okay, waiting for the match. All right, match on Corellia. About the same tier spread with a lot of T-127s, all held by Russians. And they're in a group. I really wish I had kept the T-127. It was a fairly good light tank, and I made okay cash with it. I just sold it because I wanted the garage slot. Same with the Tetrarch. They were both fairly good tanks, at least how I remember them. Don't remember the T-127 looking like that, however. Alright, point of conflict. With the change of gold into being able to use normal credits, should eventually gold tanks be available for credits? That is the point of contest. That is the point of discussion. I do not believe they should be, but also I don't think the current exchange rate should be used to actually mark down. Fire! No, damn it. Ammo, so slow. Yes, it is not a good idea to rush down the center. That is basic map. That's Corellia 101 there, people. Damn, these bullets move so slow. You just... Damn it all to hell. Looks like we may win here, simply because the enemy is morons. Oh man, I'm so slow. Well, I'm climbing uphill. I am reaching above 20 kilometers an hour, which is good. It's not as good as I'd like it to be. Okay, turning around. Looks like South Pass is being decimated, which is wonderful. Got the two 127s moving up the center lane. Man, those things have a lot of health in relation to just about everything else.
We nailed him bad.
Who calibrated this gun? Am I out of range to see the explosion, or is it actually hitting something? I'd really love to know that. .75mm cannon, wonderful.
Bailout. This vehicle has had it.
I was behind a rock. He shouldn't have been able to hit me. I guess that angle would allow someone to hit you, I think. AFK, wonderful, just wonderful. Either that or he just doesn't want to move. There, right in front of you. Advance, you're being shot at from 2 locations. Move. Get up there and get him. Come on. Why isn't that guy capping? Translation, please. Dang it. Oh, too early in the morning for this shit. As I said before, I am just an average player. I am not good at this. Once in a while I have my brilliant moments, but most of the time my matches go just along this lines. I would have left already if I wasn't actually waiting for the replay, but will someone please just kill this stupid little shit? Where the fuck is that French piece of shit? Where is it? It should have been advancing already, gotten here. It blew out its engine or something. $27 health left. Kill him already! I swear I hit that guy. Unless I did critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical hit. They really need to increase the view range in this goddamn game. Nine damage! Amazing! Just amazing. Hey, made more experience than I did before. This is not looking promising whatsoever. In any way, shape, or form. Ugh. Okay, upgraded the engine. Everything else is in place. I'm just going to take the 6-pounder here out. And I'm just going to use high armor piercing. Wait a second, did they change that? Yeah, it appears they took that out. They took out the ability to buy stuff with gold. No, that's good. That's good. Just going to take the 57mm out here because if this performs well, the other one will perform better. On to the next match. Well, it's nice that I finally got into a full match. Very nice indeed. We're on province or whatever this. Yeah, province. Tier 1 to 3 if I'm calculating everything out correctly, or 2. Yeah, I think it's only going up to 2. Amazing. This is not going to end well. Lots and lots of Russians. Amazing. Bad Russian accent for the win! AFK shitter. Can't aim down. I don't think he's there anymore. I was just throwing some shells over there. Someone went down the hill. Very smart idea. Very smart indeed. I am being sarcastic. Can you tell? Oh, no, 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 not now. Damn it. Oh, come on! Ugh. I'd like to speak to the designer of this tank, please. I want to tell him he's a nincompoop. Because as much as I love these old-fashioned designs with the rivets and everything, they're just inconvenient and, well, they have a lot more character than the newer tanks do. But they're... Man.
Enemy is hit. Enemy
Gotcha.
armor is destroyed.
Hey, first kill of the day. Amazing. I think. That's when your memory gets so bad you can't even remember what you just did 5 minutes ago. It's horrible.
They killed our driver.
Can I please aim down?
But not very well.
I'll give you one guess who will win this. The guy with the multi-firing gun that isn't as restricted in his down aim button.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
I mean, in truth, the M3 would have... M3 is going to win every single time against this tank because the M3 has more... Well, no, that's the M2. The M2 has more armor, has more speed, its gun does more damage per second. As you can see, 127 damage in the course of 2 seconds. And he has a fairly fast reload between bursts. I think we failed simply because we got the most British tanks. Two health left. Amazing, you killed him. Beautiful job. So, biggest question here. Are the British tanks competitive? Not at low levels. Same with the French tanks. We're following the French line of thinking here that we're going to make useless tanks early on and then finally learn our lesson about through the 1930s. Or no, not the 1930s. The 1950s. That's when we're finally going to start developing stuff that works. I don't think you're going to be able to get up that hill, Buster. Yes, shooting the side of a building always works. I'm not even sure if this guy was spotted. Cartridge fire guns, you're not supposed to fire as soon as it's reloaded. You're supposed to wait a little bit for the aim to go in and sink in a little bit. Now I have the bigger question of, is the 37mm, the one that reloads faster, better at range? That's why I usually separate these out. Because if you remember correctly, across this valley is about 200 meters. That means technically we're supposed to see the entire fucking map. Well, let's see. How far is that guy away? I can't tell because it's not giving me any information. Wonderful. Well, we're screwed. Yep. We're screwed. Don't aim. That's him. There we go. Finally. Right in front of you. Man, my luck has been really bad today. But that's the Mark II in a nutshell. Slow, no armor, and poor poor choice of guns for its level. Because in truth, a tier 2 tank does not need this high of penetration to go against other tier 2s. It only needs around 30 or 40. Unfortunately, we have very high penetration guns. It'd be good against tier 3s, 4s, and possibly 5s. But at this low tier, having such a slow reloading gun pretty much spells defeat because it has no armor to withstand any damage. Could be used as a sniper, but that's about it. Uh, and since everyone's really testing out the British tanks on this tier, we only see what it's really capable of when we finally get into the real game, because then we'll be facing against people, newbies, that don't know what the heck they're doing. We'll also be facing against tier 4s and 5s, which people use grind to get money. In the contest, we don't have to worry about money. So, yeah. Okay, I'm probably going to do the A10 Cruiser Mark II next, then the Mark II Cruiser Tank Mark IV. Who comes up with these names? Seriously, they're too freaking long. And the Vickers Medium Tank Mark III. And again, you have the Gun QQF 3-pounder Gun Mark II. Who comes up with these naming conventions? I want to shoot the guy who came up with these naming conventions in the head because they don't make any sense. And again, I love this aesthetic feel, all the rivets and stuff. I know there's barely any penetration offered because the rivets, if they're hit by a high explosive shell, they'll spawn into the cabin and puncture every organic or squishy thing in there. So yeah, I'm still doing more play testing with some of the other stuff, but so far the low tier, at least the medium low tier, the tier 2, I haven't tried the tier 3 yet. Hit and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss, shot and a miss, which is pretty much the best way to describe their guns at range. They're designed to be kind of snipers, and you can't hit anything at range. I should have better luck with this one, but honestly, I don't want to continue this video because I get fairly low reviews on them. So, this has been Demonocalypse. Like, favorite, comments if you would. Thank you for watching.